I'll crack on getting all the core flip stuff fitted. If I come across any unique situations, I'll film it, but the rest of it's exactly the same as what I've just showed you. I could try and do a time lapse. We'll see. What I've got here, air dry clay. Just cheap stuff from the $2 shop. And I've got some slightly harder. This will need to be kneaded. This is a lot softer. This is like a polymer clay, also air dry. I'll probably use the soft stuff for harder to reach areas, filling in cracks and whatnot. And I'll try and use this stuff for making walls. I might end up using something like this along the straight area. Cut it to fit real nice. And then put clay up behind it so it won't go anywhere. So that's my thinking. I'm going to need a wall like this, all the way up the windscreen, and all the way down the grill on the front, and then 2 walls up the back. So when I decide what I'm doing, I'll show you how to do it. I don't want red or brown hands, so gloves on. It feels really soft through the packet, but when you get it out, it's quite firm. So I'll give it a mix up. Make it a bit more pliable and start squishing it into gaps. I might put you back on a time lapse and then show you when I'm finished. I don't really want to be taking my gloves on and off to turn the camera on and off. So I'll get you set up. Alright, so I just put all this clay in there. I should have tried harder to get this piece of core flute closer to the body, because it's quite a large, and the more I packed it in there, the bigger it got basically. There's a little bit more I have to pack in there. I might start again on that. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I've done. All this stuff just wipes away pretty easy. Yeah, I might do that again. I'm not too happy with that. Well, that's much better. These are the secret tile wedges. And a piece of wood. So I added this piece of wood in there, chopped it full of wedges, these two bits already had wedges in them. Yeah, that's all I did. So I've only got a small space to fill now. It'll be much more even. There's a bit up in here. That side's pretty good, but I'll just smear a bit in there anyway. Yep. I was looking at this bit. I want that to be a nice square edge, and there's nothing really supporting this. I could put a clamp underneath there. I've decided I'm going to use like a sallow tape or something, run it along here and sort of push it into there as best I can, square it up. With that on there, it'll create a little ridge on the edges of the tape. Once I pull a new car out of the mould, I can easily sand that smooth, and that won't be an issue. Yeah. The other option would be to try and sort of waterfall something, so down instead of having the flanges here. This stuff doesn't like curving that well. It's kinked, there's big gaps in there. I've got a steel ruler in behind that to try on it's plastic. To try and get it to curve a bit better. It didn't really work. If I had acetate, that'd be the perfect thing for it. But I don't, and I don't want to drive an hour to go get some. So I'm just gonna have to try and make do with what I got. I have to go down the local shop and get some cello tape or packing tape, some sort of thin plastic tape fiberglass doesn't stick to, and go from there. Look at how crooked that is. Doesn't matter though, it's doing the job. This stuff's, pretty much gone off now, so I can start filling in these corners. Yeah, it's not going to be as straightforward as I thought it would be. I thought this stuff was more forgiving. I've got this black stuff over here. It's much thinner, but it doesn't really matter. It's got all these ridges in it. It's super, crunchy. It doesn't give you a nice clean curve, which is what I want. But anyway, I'll persevere and make do with what I got. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Probably won't film any more of me doing stuff unless it's like the tape or whatever, but it's, not really important for me showing you, stuff that I've already done. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll come back when I've finished these bits, finish putting stuff back in there, and finish the boot area. So I'll show you when I'm finished that, and then I'll start on the walls, going up here, and up like that, and then along the bonnet and down the grille. Alright, just came back from the hardware store and found this. Polycarbonate. It's 1mm, I believe, 40 thou. And it's going to be perfect for these curved bits here and there, and possibly even these bits. And we'll have a look. Yeah. And some cello tape, packing tape. That'll be good for getting these nice square edges. on that. In here on both sides doesn't really matter so much. Let's fill that up with a clay. Just a light bit of clay in there. Because I've got this sort of thicker edge here, and just sort of cut it off underneath, and you'll still see the gel coat. Up here, it's the same thing. This doesn't need to be this big, but I just left it that big. And just sort of fill these bits. Well, fill this with clay and this with tape. There's, you know, I might end up putting a clamp under there. I'm not sure. But I'll get those that polycarbonate cut and put in here. I've been able to take these clamps off. It's well and truly stuck on there now. So is this one. So I'll get that and show you after it's installed.